Well, Happy New Year. Here's Penny Lane wishing you a Happy New Year, too. So she's going to be leaving us as we get into our talk today. Say hi, Penny Lane. Happy New Year. So I'm going to suggest that we all resolve in this new year to practice gratitude in a variety of forms. But I'm going to go back to last week's that we talked about where we're thanking our tormentor. So let's look at some examples of what that could be. So for example, you have someone who's being very impatient with you, a spouse, a friend. And so internally you stop, you take a breath, and remember, twinkle your eyes a little bit so it's kind of an inner smile. So breathing in, thank you for reminding me of how I don't want to be impatient as a person. Breathing out, thank you for reminding me how I want to be patient. This is all silent. Breathing in, thank you for reminding me to practice compassion by remembering that I know in my heart that you would have done differently if you could have done differently, but you couldn't because of your conditioning, childhood and cultural, so you didn't. Breathing in, thank you for reminding me to practice forgiveness by remembering that as consciousness, I am the vast space between and beyond the judging thoughts. Visualize the night sky, the judging thoughts like stars sprinkling through the velvety black expanse that contain the stars. Or visualize a blue sky and you are the vast, undisturbed blue sky behind and beyond the clouds. Breathing in, thank you for reminding me that I am inwardly free of external conditions. And thus I proclaim, I am not dependent on anything external to myself to feel good. I have everything within myself, my deeper self, to feel good. Now, a longer version, there's two other versions I like to use for the thank you for reminding me I'm not dependent on anything external to myself to feel good, be at peace, and find fulfillment. Breathing out, I have everything I need within my heart right now, where love, the ultimate power operating in the universe, resides for me to feel good, be at peace, and find fulfillment. That's one long version where you bring the heart in and love. The other is breathing in, thank you for reminding me that I am not my surface self, the ego, is not dependent on anything external to feel good, be at peace, and find fulfillment. For I have everything I need within my deeper self to feel love, peace, and joy and happiness. Let me rephrase that next. It goes more like this. Breathing in, I am not dependent on anything external to my surface self, the ego, to feel love, peace, joy, and happiness. Breathing out, for I have everything I need within my deeper self to feel love, peace, joy, and happiness. Okay, let's take another example. We get cut off in traffic, and somebody beeps a horn or blames you for some maneuver that you weren't aware of. Breathing in, thank you for reminding me how I don't want to be as a driver. Thank you for reminding me how I do want to be as a driver. Breathing in, thank you for reminding me to practice compassion by remembering I know in my heart that you would have done differently if you could have done differently, but you couldn't because of your conditioning, childhood and cultural, so you didn't. Thank you for reminding me to practice forgiveness by remembering I am the vast space in which the judging thoughts appear. Breathing in, I am not dependent. Thank you for reminding me I am not dependent on anything external to myself to feel good, be at peace, and find fulfillment. For I have everything I need within my heart right now to feel peace. In my heart, where love, the ultimate power operating in the universe, resides for me to feel, be at peace, be fulfilled, and feel happiness. Now, let's take another example. Again, you could just do that. Breathing in, thank you for reminding me I'm not dependent on anything external myself to feel good. Breathing out, I have everything I need within myself right now to feel good. And an interesting aside is Wayne Dyer pointed out that the Celtic word for good was God. And so he suggested that when we're feeling good, we're feeling God, the ultimate power and reality. And, as St. John said, God is love, and he that liveth in love liveth in God, and God in him, if you want to go with a religious perspective. Okay, let's take another example. Somebody is critical, constantly critical, and complaining about their life, or complaining or criticizing or correcting you. Then stop, breathing in, silently saying, thank you for reminding me of how I don't want to be critical and complaining as a person. Breathing out, thank you for reminding me of how I want to be accepting and non-judgmental. Breathing in, thank you for reminding me to practice compassion by remembering, I know in my heart you would do differently if you really could do differently, but you can't, so you don't. Breathe, because of your childhood and cultural conditioning. Breathing in, thank you for reminding me to practice forgiveness by remembering I, as consciousness, am the vast space between the judging thoughts. And so, again, visualize the night sky or the blue sky to reinforce this as a picture. You can even thank the sky. Thank you for reminding me of how I'm like you, empty and lucid beyond all attachments. Or like you, night sky, past and beyond all the stars. Breathing in, thank you for reminding me how I'm inwardly free of external conditions. Thereby I proclaim, thank you that I am not dependent on anything external to myself to feel good, be at peace, and find fulfillment. For I have everything within my heart right now, where love, the ultimate power operating in the universe, resides, for me to feel good, be at peace, and find fulfillment. And again, the shorter version is, thank you for reminding me how I am not dependent on anything external to myself to feel good, be at peace, and find fulfillment. For I have everything I need within myself right now to feel good, be at peace, and find fulfillment. Now, think of other things that, where anger, just comes up, where somebody, let's say, holds a different opinion than you politically or something, and you start to get angry, and you want to argue, and you're with somebody who likes to argue. You stop, you breathe in. Thank you for reminding me of how I don't want to be a person who argues. Breathing out. Thank you for reminding me of how I want to be a person who doesn't engage in arguments. Breathing in. Thank you for reminding me to practice compassion for you who like to argue. By remembering, I know in my heart you would do differently if you could do differently, but you can't, so you don't. Breathing in, thank you for reminding me to practice forgiveness by remembering I'm the vast space between the judging thoughts, like the night sky behind the stars, or like the daytime sky, blue sky behind the clouds. And then breathing in, thank you for reminding me of how I'm inwardly free of external conditions by proclaiming I am not dependent on anything external to my surface self, the ego, to feel love, peace, joy, and happiness. For I have everything within my deeper self right now to feel love, peace, joy, and happiness. Now, again, you can just go with, I'm not dependent on anything external myself to feel good. I have everything I need within myself to feel good. Now, as you do that, you visualize that your broader statement is encompassing the more specific one, like I'm not depending on convincing you of what I believe to feel good. I have everything I need within myself right now to feel good. So I don't. You're thinking of, I don't need you to behave a certain way for me to feel good. I am completely independent of that, and I can feel good myself. So that's kind of under it. Now, as you get up in the morning, you might consider practicing, as you look at the morning sun or visualize the morning sun, all these things like the sun and the daytime sky and the nighttime sky or the ocean are all good reminders for who you and I are as consciousness, as awareness. So, looking at the sun, remember, you could say, thank you in all this vast creation of the universe. Thank you for reminding me of how I am that which lights up all my experience. And in lighting up my experience, I am not dependent on, or I am not affected by that which I light up. So as the sun lights up a muddy river, it doesn't become muddy. The sun may light up holy water, it doesn't become more holy. The sun may light up a vat of wine, it doesn't become intoxicated. So thank you, beloved sun, for reminding me I am completely unaffected by that which I light up. Then looking at the blue sky, thank you for reminding me I'm like you, the blue sky, empty and lucid, beyond all attachments, unaffected by the clouds and storms that may pass through me. And then looking at the night sky, I am like you, that quiet, peaceful, black, velvety background to all the glistening stars that could be seen as the judgments of my mind. And you could also look at the ocean or visualize the ocean and say, thank you for reminding me that I am as vast as the ocean and that all that I experience are mere waves or ripples on the surface of my infinite expanse and infinite depths. So I once saw a show or movie that Wayne Dyer made, and in the beginning of the movie, when he was getting out of bed, he got out of bed, put his feet on the floor, still seated, he went, thank you, thank you, thank you, as if vertically looking up for a thank you, horizontally looking across the space, thank you, and then looking down below, hitting upper, in the middle, and below. Thank you. All that may be in our path. So that if you practice gratitude and appreciation, think about it. It's just like if you practice complaining, you'll think of something to complain about, and then another thought of something else you could complain about could come up, and then a whole chain of associations of what you can complain about can come up. It becomes like a magnet. We're almost unconsciously, we are unconsciously looking for something to complain about. And what does that do? It makes us feel superior to that which we're complaining about. So you could think about the same thing. If I begin to look in the morning, begin my morning with opening my eyes and saying thank you, basically for my life, that I'm alive, that I'm aware, and that I'm conscious, and then just thinking of something you're thankful for, that you remember to do something you forgot to do, returning something at the store or something. Just thinking of things that you appreciated that you did, how you handled the situation that didn't blow up, or how somebody was kind to you, or somebody gave you an opportunity to be kind to them. As you think of things you appreciate, you'll just highlight other things. It'll be more and more like a chain of associations, the way our mind works, like one chain after another will come up to think of more things you appreciate, and just think how your body feels inside when you appreciate versus when you're complaining. The contraction of a complaint. Oh, I hate that you're doing this. Oh, versus I love this is taking place. And so remember, anything that's negative, you can thank it for reminding you of how you don't want to be. And you can thank it for reminding you how to practice compassion, to practice forgiveness, and to practice remembering you're inwardly free of external circumstances. So that's a good resolution, practicing gratitude. So thank you for reminding me, my mind, of who I am as consciousness. Thank you for reminding me of how I don't want to be and how I do want to be. So that is something that we all can do in this coming new year. And even the pandemic can help us remember. Thank you for reminding me of how I really appreciate my life now when it is normal again. The pandemic can make you really appreciate the way you were cooped up and restricted. So you can use the negative as a springboard to the positive, to that which you can be grateful for. So, Happy New Year, and let's make it a good one.